Hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and we are playing another session of Blades in the Dark. Last time we had a slightly truncated session, but our uh, protagonists, our crew, had a chance to meet with various people and explore a number of different leads, talk to one another, also talk with NPCs. Their patron arrived bearing healing draughts and making them an offer regarding the mages who have gotten away that I know is are top on some folks' radar at this point. Um, so what I want to do then is give you the hook. Since we kind of set this up last time, I want to uh, uh, give you the call. Since all of you have kind of been, especially Halen, but others have kind of been asking around, trying to find out about what's going on with these people. Uh, Gaba has given you some information, description, things like that. He is still occupied in his area. Uh, and I think it is Stitch that you get contacted by uh, your friend Telda.
Oh, nice.
We haven't seen Telda on screen before this, uh, but they will come and talk to you, track you down in the neighborhood around your now more secure clock tower. And they will say, you are looking for twin mages. That's what we heard.
Yeah, I don't want to lie to you. Yeah, we're looking for them. It's not supposed to be public knowledge, but I guess subtlety isn't a strong point.
No, no, it's been quiet, but I have information on where they are at this moment.
Mhm.
I don't have much beyond that.
Mm.
Uh, uh, there is a member of the how do I what this was the name that we've given to them, one of the monopolists.
Oh, oh, them.
Yes.
Uh, I
uh
heard about them. I think I'm checking on them
yeah,
right now.
the ones who
Uh,
have a squeeze on the smoked tonic industry.
uh, yeah, yeah. Oh, those guys.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
There is a wealthy factor named Tandon.
And okay.
uh he is a person who arranges things, merchant contracts, shipments out. He's one of several factors for the monopolists. Uh, things pass through his hands. He doles out contracts, lots, and things, both to importers and exporters.
But it's legal stuff, right? It's not
Exactly. Well,
okay.
it is that uh, I heard from someone who was hired to do some cleaning that uh, those two mages and another person that they found somewhat off-putting
Oh,
uh, were staying at Tandon's estate.
Do you know where that is?
Yes, it's up on the high side. He has one of those cliffside villas uh, with the high walls and a long walk up there, and uh, uh, built on the backs and the sweat of the labor of various people.
Mm, no,
Uh,
no other time.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as to why they are there
Mm.
and what's going on with that, my person barely saw them, but they had the sense that they were not not one-time guests, but people that were actually staying on the grounds of the estate.
Good to know. Thanks,
Hmm.
Tyler. That's really helpful. Um, I'll talk to some people and we'll see about what we want to do with that information.
Uh, is there, I mean, not to be rude, but I hope down the road there might be some sort of
Yes,
finder's fee.
yes, 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 yes. I have to look at my own finances here. Um, I don't have much on me right now, but I will see that you get something for you
And I,
first.
I wouldn't expect pay unless it panned out. That's how this works. So,
Yeah, what I can say to you, if you have a friend that works there, maybe just if you really like them. I have a friend who is really good with destruction of property, let's say. So it might be a good idea to not be close to said property.
oh,
Just yes.
okay, it's that kind of situation. All right.
I'm not sure. I hope it won't be that kind of situation. But knowing this person, I can guarantee it. I would hate for one of your friends to be hurt in that venture.
Absolutely, absolutely. I will speak to my friend, and if they get called up for service again, I will tell them to skip out on that.
Or at least run really fast when something appears to be happening.
Okay.
Okay.
And
I'll
yeah,
I'll
uh,
talk to my people.
yeah. And we'll kind of cut back to the clock tower. Um, you have at least some city maps, so you can figure out where it is. There are a lot of those monopolists that have the kind of the overlooking the city estates. The ones with the greatest amount of wealth actually have the kind of the cliff or beachside areas, and this factor Tandon is definitely one of them. Um, let's start with uh, our Clark clerk, Electra. Um, you will definitely know that Tandon is highly placed, um, you know, reasonably wealthy. Um, uh, if you wanted to get more information on him, what would be your go-to? Are you hitting records? Are you talking to people? What do you think?
I think hitting records first.
Okay.
That would be my primary play in because I'm working with the records, so they're easy to get to.
Let's have you roll a study roll.
That makes sense. I just realized I don't have roller up. So just a moment. Yeah, two dice. So four.
Four. So, what is the most important thing for you to know? right now? What is the fact, the detail that you want to have a sense of?
Hmm. I think maybe what people are working there, maybe like what kind of people, who has he hired, that sort of thing.
Yeah. He has a standard household staff. It's a large estate. So they have, a good number of servants. He has his own, accountants. There is a little counting house on the grounds. There's sort of an estate, uh, the big house, like a stable slash warehouse, and there's a little counting house. So he has some live-in accountants there. Um, the fact that, from what Stitch said, that he had some people in to clean suggests that they must be having some big event if they brought in extra people to get things straightened up, because he does have a decent staff.
Mhm.
Um, uh, he has a wife, and he has a couple of kids, but he doesn't have his extended family there. So it's very much him, his advisors, the household staff, some on grounds accountants. Does that seem like a reasonable answer?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
So he doesn't have like extensive or like noticeably extensive security or
Oh,
like,
yeah. Doesn't have
I mean, I
over.
assume he
Yeah.
has some, but
Yes, he has some, but you don't get the sense that he is overboard with that.
yeah,
Um, the usual kinds of guards on the gates, some guard patrols inside, the kinds of bodyguards that would go with him out when he
yeah,
would go
yeah.
and inspect things.
Cool.
Um, Halen, assuming that you also want to get some information, investigate,
Uh,
how would you go about doing that?
Let me check the NPCs tab real quick.
Sure.
Um, so what I'm looking, I'm sort of joking about it in side chat, but I'm also kind of serious about it. Um, what I want to look into is you don't get that rich without screwing some people over.
Hmm.
So I think what I'm looking for is any kind of evidence that I can find at the law library where he has been sued for grift, fraud, theft, deal like unethical dealings, not paying people what they're owed, etc.
Sure. What do you want to do that with? Is that study? Is that something else?
Unfortunately, I think it's study,
Okay.
which I have 0 points in.
Okay.
It's really a poor idea to have a lawyer with 0 points in something. So I roll 2 dice and take the lowest.
Uh, Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Are you going to utilize your friend, the journalist?
You know what? Vale probably would know something, or at least have heard
Yeah.
something.
I would say if you want to do that, if you want to call on them,
Uh-huh.
potentially alerting them that this is going on, but maybe giving you better access. Does that seem reasonable?
Sure.
Okay.
And please bear with me. I have a cat laying on my mouse right now.
Of
So if
course.
anything gets typed in that's odd, you know why.
Okay. So let's have you roll a die.
1 die, 1d6. Okay.
So
That's
five.
5.
So you'll sit down and talk with Vale, kind of get some work. Essentially, I assume you're kind of selling that you have a client who might be looking into legal proceedings against this factor.
I mean, I could also be looking to pursue a class action suit.
She'll say he's he's your run-of-the-mill merchant, in the sense that he's one of the people that they trust to organize and distribute out the contracts. There are a trio of these factors. Um, uh, all of them are subject to suits from people claiming that their contracts weren't fulfilled properly or on time, or things were changed on them. It is the price of doing business as a factor. Uh, he he's less avaricious and greedy than some of the others. Um, but he is the one who deals the most with uh, foreign operatives and agents. I know that. Um, I think if you wanted to get a class action, you'd have to get together a number of different merchants, exporters and importers, uh, to be willing to risk their livelihood to press suit, because that's the danger of the monopolists is if you brush against one, you're brushing against all of them.
The other two factors.
Pardon?
Who are the other two factors?
Oh, the other two are Magar. She's reputedly the most corrupt of the three, but that's hearsay. Um, and then Vasavi. Uh, Vasavi, he deals with all of the esoterics, the
Mhm.
people who are buying the smoking tonic for mages, the sort of strange things. Um, your person Tandon kind of falls in the middle.
I see. What's Vasavi's reputation?
He he's odd, which is why he apparently is trusted to deal with this. Uh, on the mainland, there's that nation of necromancers,
Hmm.
and he's the one who deals with their representatives when they come and call and so on. So he's used to dealing with the most unusual. He's supposedly the person who deals with the ziggurat mages or their
I see.
supplies of the tonic.
Vale, you've been very helpful. I'll let you know what happens on Deep Background.
That would be
As usual.
appreciated. Yeah, if this leads to anything, I'm always interested to hear what you have to say.
Oh, it will definitely lead to something, and I will try to bring you paperwork to prove it.
Fair enough. Shale, you know that
Yes.
that these mages are in this household. You know something about the household. Um, what is it that you want to look into to find out?
Um, so as I just put in the side chat, um, what I would like, I think the way in is like one of the more obvious ones would be to hide among the cleaning staff that you mentioned. But even if we get close to them, I don't know how to take them out. And I think this is what Shale spends his time trying to find out, like
Okay.
asking people, talking to mages he knows, um, which might not be that many, honestly. Um, but
Did you go talk to Riven? Certainly, he's the one who deals with uh, the smoke tonic, and probably of your friends has the most
mm,
contact with those with the arcane side of things.
true, she's so criminally underused. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go there.
Okay.
Um, and I think what I'm interested in specifically is just like, background knowledge about these mages. Like, why are they so strong? And what are their weaknesses? What I want to find out.
Absolutely.
Can we just do that with a consort roll?
That seems perfect.
Hmm. And it's a 4.
F4. So again, Riven lives nicely, has all of the little decorations and things and uh, materials that say that she's doing well, to kind of
Hmm.
show off, but not so well that she isn't like desperately hungry for more work and jobs and things.
Hmm.
Um, so she is glad to chat with you. Um, uh, she will mention that she heard that you and Salia are mending fences.
Yeah, it's not going that great, but I'm trying my best. It can be very capricious.
She say, just be careful. Uh, Salia is an information broker, and he's willing to sell anything.
I know.
And I mean that selling information about you to bad people. So just be
I
careful.
know. I know.
Yeah.
But thanks for your interest in my health. Speaking of which, I ran afoul of some shady mages recently, and I am afraid the question is who gets whom first. And I was wondering if you might be. I mean, you are not an information broker per se, but the people who live in the wound, those kinds of mages. If you
Uh,
happen to know anything or know anybody who knows anything, because I'm a bit lost here as for leads.
so you're not talking about government mages, but the street mages. The
Yeah. Like I think it is these. What are they? The 14th cavalry or something? These military guys that
no,
are.
oh, I say she says those aren't mages. Those are something else entirely.
Oof, oof.
Uh, yeah, you don't want to mess with them.
No, I
Uh,
don't. But I'm
um,
afraid I have to.
now, street mages, the word mages are something different.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any necessarily any connection between the two. At least that's not my impression. I'd be terrified if there were.
See, that's why I'm coming to an expert.
Uh, the word mages, because they picked it up outside of the normal channels, they tend to be disorganized. There's often a strong rivalry between them, uh, because each mage has a set of words that they know, and they can be the only ones who know that word.
Hmm.
So they don't want somebody else to find out that word.
Understand.
That's the thing. Um,
I do speak
and
that language.
yes, uh, they are dangerous, but they are dangerous because they can call out their weapons very quickly
Hmm.
and at range.
Hmm.
Um, but they need to see you, and they need to direct that at you.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
you can mitigate something a little bit I have heard, but this is folk tales. Just warning
Hmm.
you. by stopping your hearing.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense
Uh,
with
Apparently,
word-based
at least
messaging.
part of
Yeah.
it, much like how you know how when you taste something,
Yeah.
the smell of it kind of complements that.
Mm.
Same way with their thing. You'll still get hit by their word, but it won't be as potent.
Yeah, the resonance will
Yeah.
not be there.
But the trick is A, take them by surprise, and B, uh, keep them from talking.
mm,
They have to enunciate the word. If they're going to do it fast, they can like scribe gesture, but that takes time.
mm,
So silencing them is your best bet.
yeah, that sounds very, very sensible. Um, and just one question. Let me just pick your brain here. Um, Everybody keeps calling them street mages, yet they seem to be consorting with rich mages and powerful figures. How come? I mean, I get that they are powerful, but street mage connotates that they are like off the streets.
Yeah, it does. You're saying that there's some street mages that are consorting with wealthy people?
Yes.
Well, that seems very strange to me. That's
Mm,
really unusual, because of course the authorities, the Archon and his people try to keep their own monopoly on that magic. So
hmm
street mages are, I mean, that's why we have the mage tracers, um,
mm.
is to deal with that. That's if if someone with some money or power is dealing with street mages,
They're hired help.
they're hired help, but also there's clearly something going on there. There's some reason why, and a reason
Mm,
why they're not dealing with conventional mages. So
mm.
I can't tell you why that is, but that's what I would be on the lookout for.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. And I reckon they must be protected from the witch finders and from well their rivals on the streets. And
I mean, that would certainly getting a patron. If you were a street
yeah,
mage and you got a wealthy patron, that would be super
oh
useful for keeping you safe.
yes,
The mage
oh
tracers have some pull, but not enough to get in the face of people with money.
mm. Yeah. Thank you for just letting me um like
Pick
pick
my
your brain
brain?
there. Yes, yes, and well, enjoy the wine and the chocolate.
Yes, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I hope it won't be that long next time.
Ah,
You know,
I hope
it's been
so.
far too long.
Uh, uh, Keep me in mind if you come across anything, any kind of tasks or jobs that you think I would be useful for.
No, sure. Likewise, like I think we should support one another, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Hmm
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Stitch, what is it that you want to learn? And again, we always assume that when we do investigations that you have the information
Mm.
that other people have already gathered. Um, what is it you want to learn and how might you go about doing that?
It's a good question because wanted to ask about the mages, but Shayla's already found out so much about them that I feel that no, I think what I would like to learn. Hmm, hmm. Yeah, it's a good question, actually. I think I will try to figure out, you know what? I want some. We know that they work with sound, right?
Hmm.
So maybe that would be loud, would be very loud, but having some sort of musical instrument that could conceivably be parlayed into amusement thing. I mean, if somebody blows a huge trombone or something at you, it's kind of hard to do this word
Yeah.
magic stuff, right?
I think we can easily say that you can, uh, 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 when you're on the job, uh, uh, sub out something like arcane implements,
Mhm.
or an unusual weapon
Mhm.
for a musical
Okay.
instrument. Like we
Yeah.
can, I don't think there's
Okay.
necessarily a role for that. I think that's pretty easy.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Let me check if there's someone I want to talk to here because I think I've talked to Telda before, which was where we got the information. Um, now,
Sawtooth.
oh, yeah, Sawtooth, right. Sure. I could go and talk to him because the mages are still involved with the whole body snatching, maybe creating stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh no, I will not talk to Sawtooth. I will talk to Goose
Okay.
and figure
Uh,
out if
uh,
they. I
uh,
think he said Mr. Goose. They said Mr. Goose, so I will
yes.
go with he. So he might have some ideas about what's going on there.
Sure.
Because I think
Let's
Gaba implies some rivalry there, right?
it
Yes.
implied that there was some connection. You certainly know that
Yeah.
that they operate under a different paradigm, but they're certainly nervous about that. Let's have you make a consort roll then.
Okay. Cool. Let's see if I'm good at that. Not particularly, but I could be worse. Now I have somewhere among all these tabs, I have opened the rolling tab and maybe then I closed it again. I don't really know. Sorry.
No, and 100% the thing that I do most often.
I can spell stitch. I know I can. Oh, come on. Yes. Sorry. So I get one die, right?
Yep.
No, it's a 3. It's not going too well.
I think that uh, Mr. Goose will meet with you. Um, but I think the sense that you get is he has information, but he is going to expect a favor in return down the line.
Okay.
Like, and he even says it in a way that is pretty clear. He says, "I can tell you what you want to know, but I will expect your assistance in the future. I want to give you the chance to decline."
I will assist you if it doesn't involve murdering someone.
That's a reasonable limitation to put on it.
Okay.
I guarantee whatever I ask you will not involve bringing harm or death to another person.
Yes, that is in that case. And just so we're clear, I'm a person, right? Do you understand that?
100%. I'm a person as well.
Good, good. That was just
I have a broad sense of what personhood entails.
good, good,
Believe me.
good. I was
You and
not
I
very
are not exactly kindred, but we are close to kindred in this. We
yes.
are not exactly of this world entirely, let us say.
Yes. Yeah, well, we weren't created naturally.
So, uh, uh, a couple of months ago, the person you're asking about, this factor named Tandon,
Mhm.
he reached out and contacted us, the Eternal, to see if we could assist on a matter. But it was not something that we could help him with.
Uh-huh.
He has 2 children,
Uh-huh.
and they are quite ill.
Oh,
There's some rumors that it's a hereditary condition. There's some rumors that something happened with some of the smoked tonic that caused them this illness. It's unclear, but they have been sick for half a year, and neither the local physicers nor the autarchs mages have been able to provide any answers or a solution for this.
uh,
It is, I have it on good authority that this master and his 2 mages have convinced Tandon that they may have a solution to the children's illness. And as such, Tandon has moved them onto the grounds of his estate.
do you think they do? Or is that just a ploy?
That's beyond my ken. It's beyond
Mm,
my understanding.
okay.
Uh, we couldn't help Tandon. Uh, so
Do you know how long these guys have been up there with these children? You said they were ill for half a year.
as I understand it, the master and the mages were only moved in to the estate a few days ago.
Okay, okay. So, oh yeah, after this unfortunate explosion, I guess.
Yes, I had an impression that they had resettled from a previous location.
Yes, yes, I heard something that their previous location caught fire or something.
That I did not know, but they've only been there a few days. I suspect, given the speed with which they were moved in, that perhaps they had already had some communication with Tandon about this, but he's moved them in uh, as part of this, uh, which is which is unusual
Mhm.
because they are illegal mages, and the grounds are where the factor carries out business. Uh, he has gatherings of merchants who come in to make deals and contracts, and he gives uh, gatherings and parties and events there. So,
So he's desperate.
yes, if he's willing to bring them on there and kind of risk someone seeing them,
Yeah.
then it can't be for anything good.
Well, I will tell you in the spirit of kinship that I have heard that the master and his 2 mages, that they were behind some murderers, some people choked with a garrote. That might not be news to you, but if it is,
No,
let
I
me
did
know.
not know that they were associated with that.
That is the reason why their holdout was attacked, from what I've heard.
Well, I will put the word out to my people that if they cross paths with them for whatever reason, that they should give them a wide berth.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, I think.
Well then, I will speak to you again in the future regarding
Yes,
the other half of this arrangement.
yes. I look forward to it, I guess.
Uh, shall we gather the group together to chat for a bit, and then if we need to do another gather information, we can do that, or we can move to some other thing. So we kind of cut to the 4 of you in your area. GABA is well down below, out of earshot of any of this. Your physician is looking after him, and essentially information's been passed back and forth on the matter. So, Electra, what are you saying when we come into this discussion?
So what's our primary goal with the mages?
What was the thing our benefactor said? She wanted them taken out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your benefactor would like them dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would like a physical piece of them.
Okay.
That has been made clear that killing them is good. Bringing her the pieces is much better.
Okay. What about the master, though? Did she talk about that one too?
She like you didn't even have the sense that she was aware that there was a third
Oh.
party.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't either, but that let me just because it's been a while since we were
Sure.
at that house. There were these two mages, and the master is the guy with the garrote. Do I have that right?
There's two mages,
Mm-hmm.
correct? They're twins. They're the ones who are
Yes.
casting the word magics. The
Uh-huh.
final guy is the master, and he
Mhm.
has some kind of enchanted
Yeah.
garrote. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
And of course, there's Gabba, who was knocked out right away.
So we want to kill them, but preferably in a way that allows us to take at least part of them with us. So maybe not just blow them up. Seems to be.
Of course not. We don't want to reduce them to component atoms. We can't bring atoms as proof. We need something tangible. Like, I mean, the head would be ideal.
Yep.
She specified the head, or barring that, the tongue.
The tongue. Yeah. That's where the magic is. Yeah. I mean,
Which makes me suspect that she has some plans for using those, and since these are just focused on words, those that specificity with the tongue seems could be related to that, but she's been good to us so far.
I wonder what would happen if we provided heads that had the tongues removed.
she would probably be pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, if we took the heads but took out the tongues, that she would know, right? That we did that we didn't trust her. That the thing is, if we give her something that is not the tongue, then we should give her an ear or whatever, right? But not a head with a tongue cut out. That's just, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, you're probably more clever than I am. Think about 3 steps ahead, but I can't see it.
If these tongues are so powerful, do we want anyone to have them?
Possibly not, but she's paying us for this, and we get to inflict some damage to someone who's oppressing the people of the city. So
Let's
seems to
maybe
be
not sell the tongue before we have the head. Just saying we don't even have a plan how to get the heads, because blowing up the whole place is out for a couple of reasons. So we need to get
For
in.
at least 2.
Yeah.
3 if you count the wife.
Yeah.
yeah, and most
the
of the
staff.
people, yeah, most of the people working there,
I have no problem killing the master, the mages, perhaps even Tandon.
mhm.
I will not be party to killing those children or innocents.
I think everyone's in agreement on that.
It was on the same page. We just need to figure out how to do that, because we need to get
Shaped
in.
charges. I kid somewhat.
Yes, thank you.
particularly with the abilities that these mages have, it seems unlikely that we will be able to do this and keep it completely quiet.
No.
As soon as they notice something is off, they will be using their words, and that's loud.
Well, I have a
Because
few ideas about that, but I
I
need to do some more research on them.
I do have some stuff that is equally loud. And I produce the trombone and cymbal things that I've
My
that
point was that we should expect to need to
yes,
leave quickly,
yes,
not that
yeah,
we can't overpower their voice.
yeah, we kind of no, yes, yes, I understand what you're saying. Also, I think when it to be honest here, I know that Helen is good with blowing things up.
I hear but.
If it comes to facing these mages and actually killing them with like violence, does any one of you have any skills in that regard? I know you not. That's not anyone's forte, right?
I have no problem with it.
I've been practicing, but I wouldn't. I don't like my chances in an open fight.
Neither do I. But
Okay.
as I said before, I think I might be able to bring us in with the hired help. See if we can get in there. And look what I brought. And he opens his hands and has like 4 pairs of just like wax plugs, earplugs, that should protect us from the brunt of it, or from all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a little protective gear. We might have a possible in, and we have Stitch for the heavy work, don't we?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm don't much like it, but yeah, I can do the heavy work.
And so what we now need is an out and possibly a diversion.
I can handle the diversion.
Mm-hmm.
So you will know, checking around, asking around to the help and such, that Tandon is having a group of merchants, importers and exporters in tomorrow. Essentially, they're staying over for a couple of days to do contract negotiations and things like that. There are a couple of ways to get yourself in, get hired on the extra staff that they'll need to attend to those people, get hired on to one of the groups of merchants who's coming, as a servant or dog's body, or come in as prospective merchants. So you have several different options there.
I mean, it might be good if one of us could go in as one of the merchants. I mean, I can't. But you're all pretty people.
I may have an idea about that as well. There's an esoteric factor.
Yeah, a different factor, Vasari.
I need to meet with him. Or excuse me, did we establish what Vasari's gender is?
Vasari is a he, him.
Okay. I need to meet with Vasari for multiple reasons. Perhaps I can find some interesting things that will help us. But more to the point, Vasari may have a vested interest in getting a larger share of the contracts that come and go. If we remove Tandon, Vasari could fill that vacuum.
I don't want to do two things at once, honestly. Going after the mages is quite enough of a challenge. And if we have to split our forces and one goes after a tendon and somebody goes after the mages, I think that might lead to our split forces, and that didn't go so well last time.
We may not have to go after Tandon, though. We might just be able to get the counting house, which, frankly, we should do anyway. We can make it look like a robbery.
Helen, I don't want to do two things at once in this. Not really. I think the mages are enough of a problem. Can go for the counting house some other time, maybe. Or somebody else's opinions. If you think we can do this, okay. I'm just dog's body, really. But that's my opinion. Sorry.
If the opportunity presents itself, I wouldn't mind getting my hand on some coin, but or tandem, but I think we should focus on the primary mission. I agree with Stitch.
Could try and play a double play that we invite a rival of the merchant to use our mission as a diversion to rob the counting house, and then we use the fallout from that as a diversion to cover our exit.
So we're getting to situations where these are all things that could be flashed back to, where I think we could go to that. I think we are at a state where we have a essentially trespass, relatively unseen, with the point of access being coming in under cover disguise, maybe in various directions. So I think we have that set. So let's take our break, and when we come back, we'll move to that engagement roll.
Okay.
Okay.
Scale and few.
Take 10. Oh, I will mention, here's my blurb plug. So the City Builder Toolkit cards are out. The Faction Builder Toolkit cards. There's expanded tools, versions of the stuff we use to build our city for this game. That's on itch and also on Drive-Thru RPG. Print and play PDFs or Drive-Thru cards has printable, nice poker card ones. So we have our group heading in. One thing I want to ask before we go too much further is, what load are people setting? I think given the nature of this, if you are coming in disguise, infiltrating, I think that probably light or medium is possible. Heavy is probably not possible. Does that seem like a reasonable thing to say?
Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
but we have
thief breaking, right?
yes.
Yes. So you have the extra gear. So yeah, normal or light seems reasonable. Light certainly will give you an advantage in dealing in social situations and things like that.
I'm going light.
Okay. And Electra?
I'm going for light.
Okay. Halen?
Normal.
Normal. And Stitch?
Going for normal as well. I mean,
Okay.
I've got tools and stuff like that, right?
Absolutely.
I'm a worker.
So this is our engagement roll. I think we are you are tackling nasty forces. I think this is a bold plan. They are not alerted to you. There hasn't been additional heat generated or alert raised to them, so they don't necessarily know you're coming. So we start with 1 die for that, 1 die for daring. I think 1 die for essentially catching them where they seem to be relatively secure is a third die. I think that you all have all of you have called on your friends and contacts for information. So that's 4 dice. And then I do think though that you are uh, so 5 dice for weaving the web. And we're going to take away a die just because this is this is a place with a lot of potential dangers. Um, it is There's a road up. There are other estates nearby. There's a small wall around the estate. As I mentioned, there are 3 buildings on the grounds, the main house, the stables and warehouse, and then the counting house. And then there's some grounds, gardens, and things outside. There is a cliff back behind the house that is a fairly sheer drop down to the waters below. Um, and we're at night. There are various merchant agents and such arriving. Most of them, many of them have been here before, so they're arriving. They're getting their carts and horses stabled. They know where they'll be staying in guest rooms and things like that on one of the wings and so on. And so there are lots of people milling about. It's fairly easy to blend in with that group. So I'm going to roll 4 dice and we will see what we get here. We'll call it engagement. So that is a 5. So you have made it past the first checks and security. You've been able to get your way onto the grounds. You've been able to mingle and blend in. I think it makes sense both for Shale and Sigil that you have essentially with your costuming and maybe even for Halen, the ability to make yourself look like a servant or make yourself look like a merchant as you need to. That seems like a reasonable choice. And so you've overcome sort of the first 2 obstacles. One is getting in and mingling around. The second one is kind of figuring out if these mages and the master are present, where are they? And that has been, an hour of chatting with people and looking around, and eventually hearing that the eastern wing of the main house is sort of the family's area. It's, all of the guests and merchants that are staying are in the west wing, and things are going on there. There's some in the main halls, there's dining and things like that. But essentially the eastern wing is kind of off limits. There's, a few of the staff, some guards. What you understand is the family is there. And at some point you will hear that there are some consultant physicians, said very much with air quotes, that are in that eastern wing uh, of the house. So uh, we'll kind of take up with the 4 of you having done this and reconvened in a quiet, darkened corner of the courtyard. There are torches going, people mingling and talking, wine is flowing. Shell, you've probably been able to fill your pockets with some delicious food from the tables and such.
Oh yes.
And basically, it's a very light dinner party. Merchants are talking to their old friends, contacts are being made, a little bit of business is being discussed. Some of the people are in the billiards room, some people in the drawing room, various people spread out and about. So, Electra, what do you think your next step is here?
Think since I actually grew up on an estate. I think I have a fairly good feeling for how things work. Um, and I think I'm going to try to get into the family wing, um, by using like I think I'm posing as a servant or as one of the help,
Sure.
and try to use like servants' corridors and that sort of thing to sneak over there.
I'm good with either prowl, if you're trying to avoid contact, or if you're trying to use people to kind of slide your way in. I would say sway or consort.
Yeah,
Kind of changes up the dynamic depending on how you want to
yeah,
approach this.
absolutely. I think I kind of want to go with prowl as my thing, just because I feel like it's better to not be seen than to
Right.
be seen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even if I only have one die. Prowl.
Are
I would
you going to do anything?
I would be willing to use one of my two foresights and have helped you by talking to the people beforehand and just getting your plans so you know where you're actually going.
Perfect.
Excellent.
So that'll be two dice you're dealing with. We're at risky, I
I'm
think.
going to push myself as well. I
Okay.
can do that, right? Yeah, it's push or devil's bargain.
So that will be three dice here.
Yep.
I think risky standard effect, meaning that you can get you yourself and if you want another person in pretty easily. Does that seem fair?
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
And I get 6.
Get six. So who is it that you are getting in alongside you?
Pick me, pick me.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Yes.
So yes, you will find your way into this hall. Um, it is a smell that you remember from growing up Ondish. It is the particular wood, the old treated wood that's used to build these houses here. That smell of that. It's a big wing. Like this is a large estate. So a lot of the time you're kind of walking through empty corridors and things like that. You'll guess that there are probably a couple of servants that are in this wing, just to maybe keep an eye on the kids or set rooms for the master and the wife. And there are just a couple of guards to kind of walk the patrol to make sure that nobody is coming in here. Um, but otherwise, you've got a lot of this to yourself. Most of the attention, the noise, the music, the talking is outside in the other area. And I think you can maneuver through, get doors unlocked such that you've got it. So anybody following up, like Halen and Shale, can make their way through and get the run of this place. And I think with a six, you can identify that uh, the kids' rooms are they're kind of on that second floor of this four-floor wing. Seem reasonable?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, and no one sees you. There's no alert raised. The temperature doesn't go up on this at all. Shale, let's come to you.
Yes. Um, so I'm not entirely sure if I wanna. Can I just sit it out and let's see where Anders and Stitches and
Sure.
Stitches
If you
adventure
want to hold
goes?
off, let's go with Halen, see what Halen's doing, and then
Yeah.
we can come back to you. That seems more than reasonable to me. So Halen, how are you approaching things?
Would I have gone in as my civilian identity, the lawyer?
Yeah, sure. If you want to do that.
Okay. Um, I think in that case, I'm probably walking around talking to merchants and trying to find out any information I can get about anything special that's come to the house. Like, because I'm thinking there might be something unusual that's been delivered that could be used by the mages for some sort of treatment. Might give us an idea of what is around here, what they might be trying to do, what capabilities they may have
Okay.
besides their voice.
Absolutely. That feels like consort.
Okay.
Okay.
Luckily, I
Uh,
have a dot and consort.
okay. Um, do you want to push yourself or flashback or anything, or use an item?
Do you mind if I tag along and help?
I don't mind. And what kind of a devil's bargain might you give me?
Oh, that people will see and note you there, and remember your name if something goes totally pear-shaped.
I'll take that.
Okay. Um, Shale, are you spending stress or are you using your foresight to
No,
assist?
I'm spending stress.
Okay. So that seems like that would be 3 dice.
Yep.
Hmm.
Because I can't think of an item that I have or a skill that I would have that might be useful in this situation.
I could use my fine cover identity for you. Paperwork planted stories and rumors and false relationships sufficient to pass as a different person. If you wanna maybe go with somebody else.
Then we'd be
Mm,
giving up that devil's bargain.
yeah. And I do want to hit that facing complications relating to my secret
Okay.
civilian identity XP trigger.
All right. Uh,
So,
3 dice.
all righty, let's there's a 6.
6. So I definitely think you run into a couple of merchants who know you and know your reputation and see you
Mhm.
here and definitely mark it because this is not your usual place.
Right.
You are, you're a a attorney for the downtrodden here in this place, and so there's some murmuring and muttering and things. But you and Shale uh, will eventually hear someone mention offhandedly that they had brought a delivery of some goods for Tandon, and normally they would put it in uh, one of the blocks of the warehouse. That's where they usually would deliver it, but they were told not to because apparently uh, the Tandon has some people doing some work or something that have set up some sort of lab there in that particular block of the warehouse. We'll say the warehouse has a couple of floors and like 3 blocks on each floor. Um, and so I think that you can uh, go over and kind of survey and see that definitely uh, the mages and the master have probably had what other supplies and goods that they had after you blew up their building got them delivered to here. Does that feel reasonable?
Fair to me.
Okay.
Hmm.
Let's come back to Stitch and Sigil. Stitch, let's take your kind of lead in this moment. What are
I
you
would
doing?
I would like to look for some kind of laboratory, something, because to store body parts, you need some cooling, right? And that needs some kind of pipes and stuff like that.
Okay.
That's
So
what I'm looking
different
for.
from the lab that we just talked about being out in the warehouse?
Oh, okay. We knew. Oh, okay. I don't know if we know what lab is in the warehouse, then we
Well,
can
that's
mess with
that's
that.
what Halen and
Yeah.
Shale
Okay.
just established.
Okay.
So is there
Then,
something else here in this wing that you'd like to find out, to figure out, to look forward to do?
so the lab is not in this wing. So what we need is to figure out where they're staying, right? The mages,
That makes
like
sense.
like their rooms. So yeah, let's look for. I mean, they're word mages, so they write weird words on their doors to keep intruders out, because that's what I would do if I were a weird word mage, right?
I like it.
So I'm going to survey
Yeah,
doors.
absolutely. So survey.
Yep.
Um, uh, Sigil, are you going to assist or
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. I'll spend the stress to help.
Uh, and do you want to push yourself or potentially take a devil's bargain here?
Let me look at my stress so far. No, I still got 3 stress marked. I don't think I would hear a devil's bargain. I'm not sure I will take
Well, a
it.
devil's bargain is that there is a general sort of household alert track that something odd is going on that will be going up, and I would put a tick on that.
How many ticks does that have? Or don't we get to
Six
know?
ticks.
6 ticks. I think
Go for it.
one. Yes, I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, let's roll this. Come on, dice, be nice to
So
me.
three
There's a
dice.
6. There's a
Six.
6. There's a 6.
So you will, on the ground floor, you can definitely see that this is kind of where the servants, the chambermaids, the ones that are the handmaids to the lady and so on, that have their rooms here. And you will see that down at one end, uh, there are a pair of doors. You suspect they're probably adjoining rooms, just based on what you've kind of looked and seen in the layout. And there are definitely some marks that you'll remember from the island, the kinds of things that they would put on doors to mark them and keep them secure there.
Uh,
And I
if you
think,
say that I
yeah,
remember, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
sure,
you.
sure, no, no, go on.
If you say I knew or have seen these marks before, do I know what they do? Or is this just like, okay, these are magical marks, or is it just,
It's essentially the equivalent of a simple like alarm,
okay,
right? Um,
okay.
and with that six, I think you can tell that kind of looking and maybe listening, you'll hear that in one of the rooms, you can hear that someone is in one of those two rooms. Does
Uh,
that seem fair?
yeah, yep, that seems fair. I will signal to Sigil.
Sorry,
Okay.
what was it we overheard?
Uh,
There's a person in one of the
yeah.
rooms.
Oh, okay, okay.
There's somebody
Cool.
there.
Moving some things around, the sound of a chair scraping, that kind of thing. Uh, let's come back out to Halen and Shale. You've identified this section of the warehouse that is clearly the mage and the master's uh, lab. Um, what's your next step here?
What do you think, Shale?
Hmm. Want to take a look?
I don't mind taking a look. Let's go have a butcher's.
Yep, yep. Let's maybe So do we wanna be all sneaky about it, or we just like wanna try and drunkenly stumble in there and have some plausible deniability? And the not at all unlikely case we get caught.
My thinking there is, why don't you pretend to be drunken and stumble in, and I, being sober, will try to retrieve you.
Sure.
Does that, because it wouldn't do for my reputation to be seen drunk.
That. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so does that feel like finesse for the kind of sleight of hand of this, or does it feel like sway to create this impression? What do you think, Shale?
Let me just quickly check out the actions that are available, because neither of them really seem to fit. Let me just see.
I mean,
Yeah,
it feels
actually, you
like
are.
it could be consort, sway, finesse.
Yeah. No, I think it is actually the finesse was a good call because the description says employ subtle misdirection. And that's what we're doing here.
Yeah. And I need to mark 2 stress to help you out.
1 stress.
1 stress. All right. I'll mark a
And
stress to assist.
Okay.
yes. And do I want to push myself, or do I use my fine bottle of whiskeys to just like sell the illusion? Yeah, I think I will do that.
Okay. So
The illusion being not that I'm drunk, but that I'm positively harmless and
okay.
just a wealthy fop.
So I think still risky, but great effect. How does that
Mm-hmm.
sound? Okay.
Sounds great.
2 dice.
2 dice. And I think if we already pump so many resources in there, I will push myself.
Okay.
A 3rd die. And it's a mixed success.
Mixed success. So I think the consequence is that you are making some noise. So I am going to raise the household alert by 1 level, unless you want to resist that.
No, I don't want to resist that. I want to use that actually.
Okay. Let me quickly get that in the clock in the thing. And you will kind of throw open the door with Halen kind of behind you, back a bit to this lab and throw it open. It's not locked. And you'll soon realize why it's not locked because you can see it has much of the same kind of equipment that you've seen Stitch has, bottles and burners and things like that, and gear and things. There are several tables set up here. There are no body parts here or anything like that. They're clearly still in the early stages of getting things set up. But you will see there is one of those 2 mages in here, clearly working on something. Like there's a set of things that are set up there. They're kind of running an experiment, that kind of thing. And now here's the question. You presented yourself very openly in front of those mages at the rooftop. Have you done something to obscure your features or change your appearance here?
That is a very good question.
You can, if you have equipment that can do that, I'll let you mark that. Or if you want to flash back to something.
No, I do have equipment that does that, but
subterfuge, something.
Puckett, do we want me to do that? Like, what is our play?
Right.
I could try to like divert them, and you could try to attack them. In that case, I would not disguise myself.
Yeah. So here, let me tell you what the consequences are right now.
Sure.
given the situation. With that mixed success, the house alert has gone up by 1. This person right now is seeing you and is thinking that you're drunk, and has
Mhm.
if he recognizes you, he's going to underestimate you, but he's still going to perceive you as a threat. If he doesn't recognize you, he is going to just perceive you as a drunk that has come in here and shush you out of there.
Mhm.
So those are
Uh,
sort of the two options as I see it here.
and that brings me back to my question to Puckett. How much of his focus do we want me to draw? What do you think?
If he sees you as the threat, would he ignore me?
Chances are that he would.
Okay. Because that would let me get further in, correct?
Well, you're behind him, so right now, if he sees Shale in the doorway, he's gonna act on that.
Yeah, and I'm thinking if he recognizes me, then he will probably also take a closer look at you and also recognize you. So
Won't won't
maybe,
won't won't recognize Halen because Halen wears a mask
oh,
and
ah,
is not her mask right now.
Yeah, I'm in my civilian identity.
oh. So do we want to play it like that then? That I am not disguised and I just like draw all the attention and you try to sneak in like under that cover, basically.
If you're okay with that, sure.
Sure. And I think I know how I'm going to play that
Sure, let's hear it.
uh, fictionally with my haunted trauma that I like see him, I recognize him, and I just freeze. And that just gives him all the opening that he needs, all the time that he needs to recognize who I am and that I'm up to no good.
Absolutely. You get a few stumbling steps in, the mage kind of looks up, sees you, and then eyes get wide, and this is going to give a benefit to Halen, but now I need you to resist when he shouts that word at you.
Fair enough. That is resolve, I assume.
It is resolve.
Hmm. So that is a 2. Okay, let's see. Oh, fail.
Well, you don't know. How much stress do you take?
Oh yeah, true, true, true. I rolled a 3, so I take 4 stress.
3 stress.
3 stress.
Yeah. So mark 3 stress. Because he perceives you as drunk, he's not hitting you with the full harm level, which would be a level 2 harm. It's just a level 1 harm as he's kind of moving to get into a better position to hit you again. But
Hmm.
you resist that there. How does that happen? How do do you kind of take the word and lean off of it, or do you think you get out of the way? Like, what do we see you do to resist that?
I think it's the wax that I have in my ears that
Okay.
protects me.
Yeah.
So that the raw kinetic force of it hits me, but the psychological torment passes me by.
Yeah. And I think you are pushed back against the door. Uh
Hmm.
Halen.
And
Oh,
just
yes.
to mention it, I'm almost stressed out.
Oh, good. Halen.
Yes.
Uh so it's you. You're in a risky standard effect position
Hmm.
right now, given Shale having taken that hit.
I want to kill this mage.
Okay, tell me how you want to kill this mage.
Well, let's see. Um,
Understanding that
I'm
if you throw explosives in here, I'm
oh, I'm
going
not throwing
to.
explosives. This
Okay.
is blades. I mean, this is blades in the dark. I mean, yes, this is actually blades in the light, but I'm still using blades.
Sure.
So I will mark my blades on
Okay.
my load.
All right.
Um, and I'm just trying to get behind him and cut his throat.
Okay. So uh, you have to kind of leap into the room, run at him, try to
Mhm.
you know get a better position and cut at him. Is your intention, your goal here,
Mhm.
more to do damage to him or more to limit his ability to continue firing off that magic?
Ooh. Shale, you're the one taking the brunt of the hit. What would you prefer?
Um, I would prefer you killed the bastard. Like
Okay.
as a player, I don't mind rolling a new character or creating a new character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
In that case, I will focus on damage.
okay. So this is skirmish.
Mhm. I have 1 die in skirmish.
Uh-huh.
I have marked my blade. So does that give me another die?
Does not give you another die. It gives you the basically the fictional positioning to do this in this situation.
Fair enough. Um, I want great effect. What do I have to do to get there?
What would you have to
Um,
do? Desperate.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to use my foresight, my second one,
Sure.
and maybe I prepared something like some form of tonic that you coated the weapons with,
A
that makes
poison?
it especially nasty, yeah, or some like anti-mage runes that I dug up from the black market, something
Mhm.
along these lines.
I like the idea of the tonic, given that we already had the scene with your chemistry friend. Maybe we
It's
we
an
flash back to
established theme,
them
yeah.
them handing you something.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're at 2 dice now.
2 dice, desperate standard.
Uh, Devil's Bargain.
Devil's bargain. Uh, let me. I think the devil's bargain is that uh, he'll alert his twin that something is going on.
I'm going to push myself.
Okay. Mark two stress. 3 dice. Desperate standard.
Alrighty. 2 stress. So I go up to 5. We're at 3 dice. Ooh. Oh,
So
best roll is a 3.
Oh
what
no.
what goes wrong, Halen? Like as you come up on them to try and stab him, is it that you're too angry? Is it that you're too reckless? What is it that happens here that puts you off?
I am both too obsessed with this and too reckless because the people I try to protect are dying at the hands of these assholes.
Hmm. Uh,
And I think I make too much noise and catch the mage's attention.
okay. Uh, so I'm going to give you two consequences here with the desperate.
Okay.
The first is because what he does is he kind of falls back away.
Hmm.
He grabs something on the table and flings it and throws it at you. And there's a great amount of noise when he does that.
Okay.
So I'm going to raise the household alert up to 3 out of 6. But the
Okay.
second thing is I'm doing a level 2 harm as he splashes this acid in your face.
Can I resist these?
You can resist one or both.
Okay.
Which one do you want to try to resist first?
First, let's resist the noise.
Okay. So I think that's going to be with prowess.
All righty. And I've got 4 dice in prowess.
That you do.
There's a 6.
Take no stress. And then I think it's going to be insight because of the hunt there to avoid the acid to the face or reduce it down to a level 1 harm from a level 2.
Okay. I have the utility belt ability, so I can perform a flashback to acquire an asset that I'm able to carry on my person for free.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have some sort of acid resisting gel, since we know that they're throwing tonics around.
Okay. So the acquire an asset is a roll there.
Okay.
Um, uh, so gosh, let's have you roll with hunt. Let's have you roll
Okay.
2 dice for that.
Even though it says I'm able to carry it on my for free is just it doesn't count as load, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So do this with hunt.
Yep.
Okay.
So
There's
yeah.
a 6.
So I think that will reduce that effect down by 1
Mm-hmm.
automatically. And so you could take a level 1 harm, or you could resist that harm, or you could mark armor and then take nothing.
You know, why do I even have armor if I'm not going to mark it, right?
Fair enough. Exactly. Yeah. You also don't mark stress for the flashback on that thing, which is nice.
Okay.
So yeah, hits you. You've got some of the protective material because you've been around Stitch's lab. You knew what was going on there. You kind of get that. You don't take that hit. We'll come back to the two of you in that situation in just a moment. Sigil, Stitch, you're outside these doors. Heard somebody moving around in there.
I have an idea how to remove these words here. This goes wrong. Maybe hide. Now take the heat. Okay. This can go really wrong, but you know what? I, I I saw this done once, so I'm pretty sure I might know what to do. And what I will do is I will mark my arcane supplements,
Okay.
figure out how to do that, and then I will try to disarm these words with my arcane tinctures. I think just wash them off very, very gently.
So that seems like a tune.
Yes, that's what I
Okay.
was going for.
Okay. Yeah, so that seems perfect.
Okay, and I will push myself here.
Okay. So 2 dice.
Okay, 2 dice. What could go wrong? It's a 4, so could have been worse.
Absolutely. Um, I think to do this, uh, here's the consequence, and you can resist this if you want. To do this, you also need to use that Leviathan blood that you have.
Ooh, okay,
So if you mark the other item, or you can
okay.
resist that.
No, I think I'll use that.
Okay.
Is that is that an item that is on my
It's the items in load in there in that sort of yellow section.
yellow section? Yellow section? There's a yellow section.
Here, it's the fourth down in that middle column.
Oh, yeah, 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 I found it. Okay, and I just strike it through, right?
Yep, just mark that. And
Okay.
essentially, it took you an extra load to do. But yeah, you will
Mhm.
get that washed away.
Cool.
And I think you both feel the crackle as that ward ends. Clearly doesn't alert the person inside. They maybe hear the sound of them turning a page.
Okay. And I look at Sigil. What now?
I could just go in, pretend to be a servant.
Yeah. Okay. You could go in and I carry this. I take a vase.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you're talking to him, with the vase. It's a heavy vase.
Okay. So that feels like sway to play this out, like you're really trying to convince them of this role, right?
Yeah, I think this is mainly like if presumably this is one of the mages, and if it is, this is mostly just like to distract them and throw them off enough that we can get close to them.
Sure.
If it's someone else, it's like, oh, I'm in the wrong room and I can go out again. That's like the plan.
Perfect. Uh, so
The sway
sway,
seems fine.
I think we are risky standard because
Mhm.
of the setup and things that you've already done and clearing the alarm out. So that's 2 dice unless you want to push it or mark something.
Can I
Oh,
help?
let me ask a question here.
Mhm.
I will point out that you do have, and I should be pointing that out for a number of you, uh, have have you drunk that healing potion to remove
Oh,
that you have? I should have applied to some other people's actions earlier.
mm,
Oh,
kind of want to save it. I'm
okay,
not
that
sure.
is
Will my
absolutely
bruised
fair. So
ribs?
right now, this is risky, low effect,
So my
unless
bruised ribs will hinder me here. Yeah. Mm,
because you're a little wounded.
yeah.
You
I
could mark
think
an item to offset that,
no.
like work-related
I
clothes
mean,
would
I could use maybe my subterfuge supplies or
Centrifuge supplies or the work-related clothes would also, well, either one of those seems to me to be appropriate.
yeah. I think work related clothes are for my employer's stuff.
Uh-huh.
So, but I'll use my subterfuge supplies.
Okay. So that will get us back to risky standard.
Risky standard. I don't want to push myself because I don't have a lot of stress left.
Okay.
Um, Bitch, if you want to help me, I
Uh-huh.
wouldn't mind.
Yes, I will. I will lurk behind you like I'm your servant shadow, and you can
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pretend that
Okay.
you're my boss and I'm holding this heavy thing.
Mhm. Cool.
Three
I
dice.
will roll 3 dice. 5.
So a 5. So I think you will open the door and you will see that mage and kind of come forward with that. They're looking up. You can see that they've got a journal that they're writing in. And you can even tell from here that their handwriting is terrible. Like it's the worst, even from here. In fact, it almost looks like they're kind of working with kind of a kid's primer, trying to practice their handwriting. Uh, and I think that this is kind of a setup action, right? Like that's what you're doing is you are setting up
I think so.
Stitch to take their action. So uh, I think the potential consequence here is that they're going to be looking at you. You're not going to get 100% like sucker punch uh, uh, effect here for Stitch, but you will have their attention. If you want to resist that and just absolutely have them 100%, you can do that.
Yeah, I want to resist that because giving Stitch that opportunity is good enough that it
Then
gets
roll resolve.
resolve. I have 2 dice in solve. I get a 5, so that's
What
just one stress.
I think it is that that The mage is actually, when you come in, doesn't pay attention to your eye patch or anything like that, and is more like mortified that you've seen his handwriting. And he's suddenly like he's absorbed in getting that close, getting that shut so that he can kind of play it off as something. He does not even see Stitch.
Right.
Stitch,
Not
risky, great
good.
effect.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I will take my Voss. I'm not that good at skirmish. I'm better at wreck, but I think this is skirmish, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I can argue for wreck here. So I think what I will do is I will push myself again.
Okay.
But that means that I get to use my inconceivable ability and perform a feat of physical force that verges on the superhuman. What I want to do is we're in the second floor, right?
You're on the first floor for this guy because the
Oh,
ground floor. Yeah.
oh, okay. Still falling out of the window would probably hurt, right? I mean,
Slamming into
what?
the wall,
Yeah,
anything here. There are many surfaces in which you could
yeah.
deal with
Oh,
this
yes, I
person.
can. I will take this person and slam him through the wall. How about that?
That seems reasonable.
Yes. Okay.
So we are at risky,
Yeah.
devastating effect.
I have
How
two
many?
dice.
2 dice.
2 dice. I will assist.
Okay.
If
Thank
it's a
you.
3
2 dice, I
dice.
will definitely help.
Cool.
And I think this is just me continuing to distract him.
Mhm.
Like, oh, what are you writing there?
Oh, oh,
And
oh, oh, oh. 3 dice.
Okay. Let's roll. Come on. It's a 5.
That
Yes.
is a 5. So because that's devastating effect, because it's risky, here is the consequence I'm going to give you is he is not going to go through the wall. You will discover just how solid these walls are. This old wood. And when he hits it, Sigil, I'm going to have you. Here's the consequence I am going to offer that Stitch can resist. Is I'm going to make Sigil take a light wound of shock from what they're about to see,
Oh,
unless you'd
I
like to resist that.
would like to resist that. Yes. Don't want to shock poor Sigil. What do I resist that with? Insight?
Resolve. I think.
Resolve.
Yeah,
Resolve.
I'm being
Resolve.
generous here.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, I'm
One
taking another
stress.
stress.
So I think it is
Yes.
Sigil that you turn away as you kind of realize what's about to happen, and you just hear this crunching wet sound. Uh, uh, like you saw Stitch pick this person up, but and like nothing. And it just the speed and the force with which Stitch threw this mage against the wall. The mage had not a moment to even get even a breath out, and he is wallpaper on the far
Oh,
side of the room.
you're more fragile than I thought. Don't look.
let's be grateful for that.
Uh,
Do you take anything with you? And by
Yeah,
that I mean parts of the mage.
yeah, I
take
think
his
what
head and put it in the vase.
I mean, I will take a skull cap and put it in the vase. I don't think his head was
Yeah, it's
really recognizable.
it's like an egg that's been cracked.
Yeah.
Um, do you take the tongue? Is my question actually.
I looked at Sigil. Do we?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I
It's
think
great.
I'll take the book he was writing in as well, just
Okay.
in case it's something interesting or valuable. I actually, if Stitch is going to do the things with the mage, I will just look. Is there anything here that's valuable and easily
Oh
portable.
yeah, I do think that there's clearly this book, and you can see that while this isn't valuable because it's clearly something he was working to copy over, there is what looks to be some kind of magical text that he was trying to learn and copy from, and that has the look and feel of something with some weight to it. Like when you go to pick it up,
Hmm.
it's much heavier than it ought to be. Like
Ooh.
it takes you a second to kind of break the gravity of it off of that table.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay,
I'll ignore his writing stuff. That seems uninteresting in comparison.
absolutely. Um, let's come back to Shale in just a moment. Let's take our second break. Let's take five, and then we'll figure out what Shale is doing in this Shale Halen showdown
Okay.
against this mage. Okay,
Okay.
take five. So we cut back to the two of you in this lab. Some things have been thrown on the floor. The mage has kind of moved to try and get to the middle of the room. Uh, Halen has knocked away some of this acid, but kind of on her back foot. Right now, though, because of that initial roll, the mage is still caught that even though Halen has come at him, he's uncertain who the bigger threat is right now. Like who we should be dealing with. So he has a little bit of that confusion about what his next step is. He's trapped in this room. This is a warehouse room. It doesn't have any windows. You're in the doorway, Shale. Halen's in the room with him. What do you want to do, Shale?
Well, let me make it easy for him. Um, I will play on the fact that he has already bested me twice, that he has seen the fear in my eyes, and I will really ham it up. I will be as pathetic as I can be. I will even push myself into trauma to really give it my all. And I want to sway him to come really close, to come
Okay.
so close that when I shoot him with my concealed pistol, it's not a matter of finesse anymore or of hunt.
I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
So sway, making yourself the target that he wants to go after, uh,
Mm-hmm.
is sort of the setup for this attack. That seems reasonable. Are you using any other equipment or anything else I should know right now with that?
So I use my what's it called? My concealed palm pistol. That's my
Hmm.
item.
Yep.
That is a zero load item, and that's it.
Okay.
And then I push myself, as I said, and
I will help if you like.
for sway, absolutely, if you can.
Okay.
Sure.
So that will be 3 dice.
Mhm. And what's position and effect?
I think right now, because you've kind of evened the odds, I think we're still at standard risky right now.
Then I'll go for desperate great.
Okay.
Going all in here. Four dice, you said, right? Three, you said.
3 dice.
Mhm. Okay, and it's a mixed success.
Mixed
I
success.
I trauma out, I succeed, and whatever you have as a complication.
I
And if it wasn't clear, my intended goal was to kill the guy with a shot in the head.
Yeah, I think with that great uh uh let's see, great effect. Uh but desperate. So here is what I'm going to offer you right now. Uh and of course the problem is you've got two level one harms, right?
Hmm.
Uh so great effect goes down to standard effect because of that. Um I think I think you're going to wound him badly. Uh but I think that the consequence is that he does get an unfocused word out at you. And I think that you are going to lose the ability to speak for a while, for the next several days.
Mhm. How do we want to play that? Is that a wound effect, or do I need to do a long-term project to relearn
I
speech?
think that'd be a long-term project to clear
Hmm.
that out.
What do you think? How many segments?
Oh, I think just a 4 tick.
Sure.
Are you good with
Mhm.
that?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Can I can I throw one thing in the mix?
Sure.
Uh, because we do have these healing potions. Can we no, never mind. I just wanted to get to like that it's still great effect. I don't like
Sh-
that being diminished. Like I'm willing
Sure.
to take some other consequence,
What
but I
what
want that guy
tell me
killed.
what other item you're marking.
Okay. If we're talking items, then I can just mark armor. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is you want to get it to a better effect, right?
Yeah, I want to keep my large effect.
Okay.
My
In that case, mark something that is offensive. I think armor doesn't fit here for doing more. Do you have
okay.
something else that you can mark that you
I
throw into the
I
mix?
I could make it a two-punch combo that before I shoot him with my concealed palm pistol, I break a vial of slumber essence, and as we both drift off to sleep, I place my shot.
Okay. And I think it's he comes at you, you get close, that you
Mhm.
crack that, it hits, you see his eyes roll back in his head, your eyes roll back in your head. And I think the last thing you see is this burst of crimson as you pull that trigger,
Yes, I love that.
and you collapse to the ground, and he collapses to the ground.
I love that.
Um, and Halen, you go over, you kind of have to probably wave away the slumber vial. Uh, Shale is absolutely unconscious for the moment. And a bullet has passed through this person's eye and lodged somewhere in their skull, and they are dead.
Right. So I will take care of cutting off the head.
Okay.
And just I gotta do this. Shale, if you're okay with this, let me know. But
Sure.
um I have a glider cape.
Stolen car, you know.
I have a glider cape. We know that that back fence has a cliffside.
Oh,
I want to take the head and pick Shale up and like rig him to some stuff that I've got underneath my clothes and use that glider cape for the two of us to escape
I
without
love it.
notice.
I love
That
it.
seems absolutely perfect. I think you climb up onto the roof of this warehouse. There are some people outside. No one's any wiser to what goes on. I will assume you start a small fire in this lab to destroy it for the future, right?
Of course, I don't want to be using anything.
Okay.
And
And
you take the tongue as well.
you took the head.
They took the head. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And then this is probably the biggest leap that you've made in your life, Halen. So what do we see? Like you've probably gone from rooftop to rooftop with this gliding cape, but what do we see here with this seaside cliff and shale? Describe that to me.
At first, there's a little bit of nervousness because I'm not quite sure if I can run fast enough and get the cape open enough to get past that fence. But once I get over that wall and there's just that sheer drop below us and the cape is working and we're actually flying, I am grinning like I have never smiled before. This is thrilling. It's exhilarating. It's absolutely reckless. I mean, who thinks of jumping off a cliff to escape?
Shale, you suddenly come to the cold wind and the spray in your face as the sleeping vapor is wiped away from you, and you realize that you're in pitch darkness being carried by some sort of gigantic bat. descending towards the water below, and you open your mouth to scream, and no noise comes
Oh
out.
no.
Absolute silence as you try to scream.
Oh God.
Um, we'll consider what do you think you're going to take as your third trauma?
My second is cold.
Oh, okay. I think
Hmm.
that seems appropriate. I think that there is that moment of this all getting worn out of you here, before you kind of realize that it is Halen carrying you as you land in the surf down below.
Yes.
Stitch, Sigil, you will hear, I think the noise will carry into the building. And I think as you two are kind of walking down one of the hallways, uh, you'll hear two of the servants talking. Uh, they're saying the warehouse is on fire. So the warehouse is on fire. They have people brigading here, but we have to make sure that none of the sparks catch onto the house. And it's not like the panic, like that it hasn't created chaos, but people are definitely absorbed in trying to put that fire out so it doesn't that the flames don't carry in the wind or anything like that. Uh, uh, what do you two want to do?
Well, we want to get out of here. The question is, do we have do we have time to go past the counting house and maybe, or is
Um,
that just getting greedy?
I mean, I still have my domination tools with me, you know.
So that would be another set of rolls there. If you wanted to try and
I'm
use the chaos of this fire to go over and
why?
plant a bomb at the counting
Hey,
house before
I
you
still
leave.
got one stress left. What? Why
Yeah,
not?
and I have two. I mean, this is,
Okay,
I feel like
we.
this is pushing it,
Yeah.
but I
But
would like to get a trauma just for
I'm
the XP
so
thing, but
so do I, and I'm actually pretty good at rec. So I will give you the vase and say, hey, um, I blow this up, you get this out. I want this in my lab. Maybe if you can, you know.
So I think that there are
of
two
course.
parts to this. One part is planting the bomb, and the
Hmm.
other is getting you out without drawing attention or being spotted or anything like
Hmm.
that. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think there's no problem given the discussion. I think you'll hear some people talking, and you hear there's a fire. I don't know. I saw some sort of giant bat. Or there's just some sort of monster in the sky. It flew in front of the moon. I don't know. I think it was carrying somebody off. And that seems to be going, but they're putting out the warehouse fire. And like the other nice thing for you, Stitch, is that like the accountants who work in the counting house and live in there, they've actually come out to
Mhm.
help out. So they've
Good.
actually cleared the place. So you're not going to
Cool.
harm any innocents while you're doing this.
Yeah. I
But
wouldn't have blown up the thing with the accountants in it, to be
right.
honest. I would have
Uh
shouted or something. The bat had a bomb or
right.
something.
So I think this is a wreck. You're trying to cause damage to the building.
Yep,
So I think we're risky standard
that's
for you
fine.
to set this sort of time delay fuse here.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, I could go up to this desperate thingy, right?
You could go up to desperate, great, if you wanted to kind of take the time to go into a more position where you might actually like hit a support pillar and bring this whole place down.
I mean, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing it right, right?
So
Also, I can eat the XP.
desperate, great.
Yep, at two
Roll
dice.
to rolling two dice with wreck.
Yep,
Oof.
yep.
Should I help you maybe?
Please,
How
yes.
much
Yeah, I'll
stress do
do
you have
that.
left? Oh, you got enough to help. So another dice. So three
Yeah,
dice.
cool. So just maybe shoo the people away that are like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what's going on here? Let's see how this goes. Dice room, you've been nice so far. Please be nice now.
Oh yes.
Oh my God.
Critical. So you will realize as you get inside that this building is a much later addition. It was built on the grounds. It is not a storehouse for money. It is for records and things like that. And it was never built with like high structural integrity in mind. And there is a central supporting column. And you will get that set up there with a little fuse. You run it around kind of as you go out, and you realize when this goes up, this is going to bring this whole building down, and you will light it. Um, and step out. Sigil, you've got a narrow timetable here to get you and Stitch out of here. So tell me what that looks like.
I think we'll just briskly walk towards the exit
Okay.
and like walking with clear purpose, and everyone's like focused on the fire, and we're just trusting that nobody is going to worry too much about us
So
walking away.
that seems like sway, which will be risky. I've already had your Bruce Ribs effect, so I'm not going to take the effect off of that. So I think risky standard right now.
Is this a group action, or is
I,
this just me
I think I'm just going to
leading?
have you roll for this.
I have 2 dice. I can't push myself because I only have 1 stress left. I think I'll just roll it.
Mm. Yep. I would help you, but then I would stress out, and I think that would kind of defeat the purpose.
Yeah, and I get a 3, so that's not great.
So I think you're getting out of here. And as you are going along, here's the consequence. And you can resist this if you want. Is that you like look back. You're never supposed to look back, but you look back and you will see the crowd moving around, people running this way, and there's a figure who's standing there stock still, who's watching you, and you will see that master.
Mm.
And you will see him gesture, and suddenly there is a burning from your eye socket.
Mm.
And I'm going to give you another light wound unless you'd like to resist that.
I will definitely resist that because taking more damage will reset my healing clock, and
Yep.
I don't want that. So
Resolve.
I resist, and I
Oh, a
take 0 stress.
6.
Now that I wanted actually kind of to take stress because traumaing out now would be fine, but it's okay.
He does
It's
that.
okay.
You'll feel it start to burn, and you will truck along out of there. He clearly saw you. He felt that thing. Maybe he didn't know exactly what's going on, and maybe he's about to do something else when you're at the gateway and the counting house goes up. And
Yeah.
there, a scale model explodes, matchsticks goes everywhere, people are knocked down, and in the chaos, the two of you are just out those gates, down the road, and out of here. I think it's you can you managed to keep the wound from being too bad, but it still kind of hurts, and I think you smell the burning of it. Um, and we will see the two of you make your way back to town, and we will cut forward from there. And you're back at the estate. I want to cut to a question here. Do you give the tongue and the head over to your patron?
Deal's a deal.
That was the job. So
That's what we got it for. And we
Abs-
get a lot of will I get a lot of coin for it, as I
Mhm.
remember correctly.
And even more importantly, their protection.
Yes. So they will look at this. They will thank you. The 100th Peel will thank you very much. Will say, I can understand why you might not have trusted me on this task, but you have done very well. Did you find anything else that might be of interest to me?
Did we?
Yeah, I'm going to because or do we think that we can make use of a magical tome? Is anyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then I think we'll hold that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Then I won't give you the extra coin for that. But they do push over a strong box to you. And they will present you with 12 coin.
Nice.
Cool.
That is a lot. So we'll probably regret handing over those times, but whatever.
How much
So
did we get from the counting house?
nothing. They blew it up.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well,
Were
There
we
was no-
supposed to rob it and then blow it up? You
Yeah,
weren't
but there
very
was
clear.
no money there. There was just books.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Also,
so
I didn't think about that. Halen never said rob it.
right. I think we're between I think there's not a lot of exposure, but I think blowing up the counting house makes this a little loud.
Mhm.
So I think that is going to be 6 and 1, half a dozen high. Let's give you 4 heat. Oh, sorry. Let's do 3 heat plus. So 5 heat with the killing.
Oof. Yeah, that's one away from wanted level.
Yes. Now let me roll for entanglements. Ooh, look at that. That is a 6. So, there is going to be people who are sent to round you up to arrest you. In particular, I think we're going to see that investigator that caught wind of you last time, Electra, that raised a little of your heat. And so a detail is going to be sent to arrest you. You can pay them off with your wanted level, which right now is 0, right? You can pay off with 3 coin. You can hand over someone for arrest, or you can try to evade capture.
Didn't our patron say that she would protect us? Just asking.
They also said they would give you a lot of money, which they did.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
I think
fair enough.
I think protect you means that if you want to pay that coin, they can make the arrangement such that this
Okay.
gets wiped off.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I think paying them off makes the most sense.
Essentially, you hand that coin back. She will intercede. She will say, I will make this disappear.
Mhm.
You don't have to worry about this. And we will take you off their radar. And so that's 9 coin. That's still a lot. Let's stop here.
We should get some rep as well, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, actually, let's see the rep for that. Thank you. I almost forgot about that.
Which probably means that we can increase our tier.
Yeah. So uh, let's say 3 rep. Okay. Primarily because people knew that you were asking around about these people. And I think that's kind of how it ends up coming back. Um, uh, Also, this is while you're still tier 0. Do you want to pay a coin to keep in good with your the gang that kind of was overseeing you?
I think so.
Okay. In that case, you go down to 8 coin, but everybody is happy with you.
So it will cost us, is it 8 coins to go up to tier 1?
I
I
think
think it's
so.
8 times the new tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that means we would spend everything we get to get to tier 1.
Right.
And
And
then
you still got 3 coin also left over in your.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do we
Okay.
want to do that?
Yeah.
Folks good with that? Halen,
Mhm.
Shale?
No objections here.
Okay. So I'm going to make a note that we're going to take you up to tier 1 next time, and
Yay.
we'll play that out and talk about what that looks like next time. We'll do the downtime activities
Mhm.
next time, just so we have time to kind of let that breathe. Uh, and we'll talk about what you want to do in terms of expansion with that tier, and we'll go through that whole process. But for the moment, let's do the XP. If I can find that easily here. I swear to God Almighty, if there's one thing I can never find in this book on first glance, it is the PC advancement thing. Uh, Electra, uh, what is your playbook specific XP trigger?
Not useful, I think, but it's you address the challenge by using your connections or exploiting the rules.
I actually think at least one, because you were talking about your background and using that as a household, and there's a little bit of that I feel is appropriate.
I think isn't background is
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a separate
separate
thing.
thing. But I did go to check the records when we were investigating.
Yeah.
That's through my job.
So let's say a point for that. Um, Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. At least one for your background.
Yeah.
Anything else there?
I think the discussion about how to handle like the family and the people working there. Um,
Absolutely. And I think also being wanting to burn down the counting house
yeah,
is appropriate. So let's give you 2 points for that. Did you struggle with issues of your vice or traumas?
nope.
Not yet. All right. Let's come to Shale. Shale, what is your playbook specific XP trigger?
Doing something with calculation and conspiracy,
Oh yeah.
and I did that twice.
Yeah. So let's I think that's 2 points worth of that here.
Mhm.
Express your
Then,
beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
yeah, I claim 2 for that too, for talking with my contact I knew from my childhood and
Yeah.
using the tonic weapon.
Yeah.
And I also claim 1 for dealing with trauma.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Your calculation in the chat seems right. So yeah, 5 XP.
Mhm.
Halen, playbook specific.
Okay, playbook specific is addressing challenge with intimidation or bringing criminals to justice. I think,
Definitely.
yeah. The question is 1 or 2.
I think it's a big enough tier. I'm going to give you 2 for that.
Okay. Second question or second playbook thing is facing complications relating to my secret civilian identity.
Give you a point for that.
All right. Expressing beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Okay. What do you think?
I think at least 1 there
Okay.
because it was very much like I wanted to take these mages out. I didn't want to leave them on the table. I just wanted both of them dead. But I was only
You're an
involved in
Avenger,
killing
so
one of them.
that seems fair. So we'll give you a
Yeah.
point for that.
Yep.
And I'll give you a point for struggling with issues of advice or traumas. We kind of work that into that narrative of your fail there.
Yep. Works for me.
Stitch, playbook specific.
Yeah, I think I did. I addressed the challenge with curiosity because I talked to the Mr. Goose
Mm-hmm.
because I was curious about him, and I also just had some slight disregard for my personal safety when I blew up that counting house.
Oh yeah,
Maybe a little.
we'll give you two for
Or
that.
okay. Background thing, yeah, I mean the whole created people thing came up once or twice, and also I used sort of a spell that I'd learned
Yeah,
before, so I
I'll
think
give you two. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas?
nope, I don't have trauma. I can't
Okay.
seem to get some.
We tried very hard today, so
Yeah, I really tried, but well,
um, let's see. I think this is a a definite sabotage mission. So we're going to give you a point for that there. Uh, goals drives inner conflict and essential nature of the crew. Um, yeah, I think I'm going to give you a point again for the counting house and another point for following up on things that you had kind of set in motion before. Does that seem fair?
Sure.
Uh, bolster your crew's reputation. Well, yeah, you're not subtle.
that's true.
And express the goals, drives, inner conflict, centralization of the crew. I think that certainly you highlighted the how the crew operates and that 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 this was personal in some ways. So I'm going to give you those last two ticks, so we'll get you in advance for next time. So next time we'll do tier, we'll do downtime, we'll do crew advancement, we'll get all those things in play. I would like to do a quick stars and wishes, particularly things that you liked, wishes being things you want to follow up on next time, play up, things more of, less of. Uh, Electra.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. It's always nice to have a job that goes well for a change. And I think we had a good plan, focus. It was interesting, interesting to see some action sequences mixed with the subterfuge. So yeah, I felt we had a good pace also.
Uh, anything wishes wise?
Um, I need to get better at hitting my XP trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's a little tricky, but I need to figure out ways to do that more regularly.
Yeah, that's actually it is a common thing is people often forget it or they have one that it requires a little more really kind of aiming your work.
Yeah, I feel like this character for the playbook works better by working in the background than like being on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to think about ways maybe I can do that.
And it also kind of doubles a bit with the spider.
A little bit, yeah, yeah. Though I think you're more about the planning and I'm more about the resources.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are differences, but a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah, but they
overlap.
are very
Yeah.
close. That's very true.
It is interesting to look at a lot of these fan-made playbooks and things like that and to consider like it would be interesting to mark each of them to go, okay, this kind of echoes this one to have help people kind of figure that out when they're doing team building. That might be something worth doing as a kind of an analysis.
Yeah, I did a lot of that when I was working on playbooks, and
Mhm.
there especially the fan made playbooks, and many of them overlap a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Shale.
What Anders said, it was really fun, and we made it by hair's breadth and really good. I really enjoyed our team play today. Like on both of our teams. Like Shaylin is like at least in my mind a meme. And Stitch and Electra were also really good, like complementing each other in their silent approach. That was really good. Stigil, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and I love the Batwing at the end. That was
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, and yeah, wishes. I think just like a personal wish. I think I might, if I have the time, maybe create the lurk that I talked about in the beginning for next time, because I feel Shale is really banged up and needs a break.
That seems a reasonable thing.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, especially if you're increasing the tier of the crew. That's a
Yeah.
good logical
Mhm.
thing. Halen.
This was a lot of fun. I had no end of enjoyment toward the end when Stitch and Sigil went for the counting house. Like I was just screaming inside chat, like, wait, what do you mean stick to one thing? Is that only for me? So, I had so much fun watching that play out. Dominic, it was absolutely awesome how you were playing the Shale this evening, like cowering and terrified, and just it was nice to bounce back and forth between offering support. It felt really even-handed tonight or today. So that was a lot of fun to me, because it's just like it felt like that classic kind of back and forth fight where you have two people fighting one, and they like toss the knife back and forth and catch it. Just it felt really cinematic in how it went down. Also, pasting that mage against the wall, Stitch, that was just like, okay, went from three-dimensional to two-dimensional. Great. Sort of like Wile E. Coyote going straight into the side of a rock. So this evening's session was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it.
Good.
And
Anything
Lowell,
wishes?
thank you.
Oh,
I was
go
just
on.
going to say thank you for letting me do the ridiculous thing of going off of the
That
warehouse
was
ceiling
great.
and flying out. So
That was great.
that was some serious rule of cool stuff, and I appreciate you letting that go. Wishes for next time. I don't really have any,
Okay.
besides more mayhem and chaos.
All right. And Stitch.
Yeah, what everyone said, fun session. It was nice seeing a plan coming together for once, and the dice being mostly friendly to us, especially with the counting house. And yeah, I really loved how these two groups interacted and helped and supported each other. That was a lot of fun. That poor mage guy who got shot by Shale, I didn't feel for him at all. I mean, he would have deserved it if Halen had gotten him, but well, this one was also nice. Um, yeah, okay, and as to wishes, I mean, I have raised my attune by 1 point, so I guess you can guess where this might where
Okay.
I might think Stitch might want to go, especially since we
Interesting.
got that book from that mage. So maybe, you know.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we'll look into that, playing up that plot element.
Mhm.
Thank you all very much. I want to make sure it's okay with folks to post the video. Okay.
For it.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. And I will talk with everybody next week. Bye.